Hi Leo, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your monthly reading for January. I hope everybody's doing well. Happy New Year. I am going to take a quick second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Leo out there, so guys, just take what resonates for you, leave the rest for another Leo. We're going to start with your current energy, Leo, and then we're going to look at the month of January week by week, all the way up to the end of January. As always, please don't force yourself into any reading or a part of a reading that is not resonating with you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Leo? What would you like Leo to know for January? All right, Leo, you are starting out with the 9 of Wands, and it is crossed by the 10 of Wands in the reverse. So I feel like you're exhausted, Leo. You are absolutely exhausted. You have been carrying a heavy weight for quite some time. What I will say is that it is resolving, because you're coming to the end of a cycle. The worst of this is past you. But I do feel like, some of you guys are kind of hiding out a little bit. You're not really wanting to get out in public, or maybe not wanting to get out and date. There's just, you've been dealing with a lot here. And I feel like it's kind of made it so that you don't trust people the way you used to. I do see that this is resolving, but there's almost this energy of you kind of having one foot looking into the future and another foot looking back at the past. Let me see what's happened here in the past. The 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, so in the past, I feel like, you felt like you were going to have it all, but something has happened here. So we'll have to clarify that. Again, it's a 10, so that cycle ended, a new cycle's beginning, and I just feel like it's been a long process for you. Now, I do feel like a lot of you guys feel very supported by family or close friends, and that's very positive. Let me see why all this is happening. All right, we have the Hermit in the reverse. You're coming out of this Hermit energy. Like I said, a lot of you guys have kind of been hiding out, but you're coming out of that energy. You still have some trust issues. I do feel like you have been, basically hermiting, looking at the situation. It's been heavy for you, and it's been a long time. It's whatever you're dealing with here. I feel like it's been, on multiple levels. It's not just in one place. And there's almost this sense here that in the past, no matter what direction you chose to go, it was going to wind up with issues and problems and maybe even deceit or trickery. I do feel like it was difficult for you to find the answers that you're looking for, but this is indicating to me that you are finding those answers. You are coming out of this hermit mode, and you are beginning to resolve the issues, but you are definitely exhausted. Let's see what's on your mind. Show me what's on Leo's mind. Hold one moment. All right, the Hangman. Oh, you're waiting for something or someone. Yeah, you're wondering if you should wait, if you should continue to wait. Yeah, it's like you're holding on, but you're underwater. You're holding on, but you're deep in emotions, and it's, again, that energy of being exhausted. Like, I don't know how much longer I can hold on. All right, so coming in January, you have the 7 of Wands. You're going to stand your ground here. Yeah, there's an energy of you standing your ground against things that are opposing you. And it's not only one situation, it's several things, but you will be standing your ground. You're showing up here as the Ace of Wands. That's a new beginning, and that's a lot of growth that's going on for you as well. That's passion returning to your life. Let me see, like I said, you're resolving this. Let me see who's coming towards Leo. The 7 of Swords. So who are you standing your ground with? Well, somebody who has, been hiding in the background. Somebody who is, not being on the up and up with you. There's deceit here. There's lying, cheating, stealing. some kind of deceit. This person is coming towards you, but this is who you're going to be standing your ground with. So let me see Spirit's advice to Leo. The Fool. Spirit is saying you have to take a risk. There is a brand new beginning that's here, and it's scary for you, but you have everything you need to open up any door that you should want. But the door that you need to really be opening up is this new beginning with self. So I do feel that, you know, there is a new beginning that's happening here for you. Let me see your outcome. Show me the outcome. The Four of Wands. That's a reason for celebration. That's stability re-entering your life, you know, a reason to celebrate. So we'll have to see what that's all about. But that's very encouraging. Like I said, I can see this energy of you having one foot in the past and one foot in the future, but you have to be in the here and now. And I do feel like whatever this is that's exhausted you, it's been heavy in your energy. And I feel like you're finally fighting back. You're finally saying, no, this is not how my life is going to be. And it's going to bring good things for you. Now, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups. Love that. That is either a new beginning or that is a brand new beginning. It can also be you pouring that love into yourself. So either way, it's a really great card. I feel like you have a lot to offer, Leo, and you've been offering it to everyone except you. And Spirit is saying, yeah, there's a fresh new start, but take a risk with you. So let's clarify your reading. Why is the Nine of Wands here for Leo? Why is the Nine of Wands here? The Emperor in reverse. Oh, so some of you could have been dealing with a twin flame or a deep soulmate connection. But I do feel like you're dealing with a masculine, most likely, who is really not behaving in the most positive manner. Now, when I say masculine, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a male. There's a lot of females that are in very masculine energy as well. But what I am seeing is that you don't trust this person. You could be dealing with an Aries, but I feel like this is a situation that's spun out of control. It's been out of control for a long time, and neither you or whoever else is involved in this situation wants to really pick up and the reins and take control of it. So there is a need to do so because it's just exhausting you. Why is the Ten of Wands in reverse? The Lovers in reverse. Yeah, you had an ending with this person. Again, I'm getting that deep soulmate or twin flame energy. There was an ending here. You may feel like this person chose to go in another direction. They may have chosen someone or something over you. They definitely were not making you the priority. I have to say that this person that's coming out in your energy that you've been dealing with, you don't trust this person. This person could have been unfaithful in the connection, or they could have been dishonest. Definitely very controlling energy. The Emperor in reverse is a very controlling, almost narcissistic type of personality. They just think of themselves, are a bit selfish, and they don't do the right things by others, you know. So I do see that there was an ending. This is what's caused you to feel, you know, so weighed down. It does indicate that this person may have gone in another direction. Let me see why the Ten of Pentacles is here in your past. Five of Wands and the Page of Wands. Yeah. So again, there was conflict, and this person put you in competition with someone else. Now, at one point here, Leo, you were very content. You thought that the two of you were going to have it all. But I do feel like there were conflicts. There was a lot of arguing. There was a lot of immaturity that was present, especially with regard to words and how, you know, thoughts and feelings were expressed. And at some point, this person may have put you in the more recent past, may have put you in competition with someone else. Let me see why the Hermit is here. And that, so I can see why you don't trust this person. I feel like the situation just gradually went, you know, more and more sideways. Ooh, Ace of Cups. So you have the Ace of Cups twice, Leo. That's why all this is happening. All of this is happening to prepare you for a brand new beginning. Either a new beginning in love or, you know, a new beginning with the self-love. You are definitely at the point where you're now pouring that love into yourself. And that's the answer that you've gotten. The answer is that if you want to have love in your life, you know that you have to pour that love into yourself. That all other roads lead to, you know, difficulties. So it starts and it ends with you. And if you're going to bring the love into your life, you have to pour the love into yourself first. What is it they say? If you're on a plane and those masks drop down, you have to put the mask on yourself first. Let me see what's in your thoughts. You have the Hangman. Let's clarify that. Oh, so you're waiting for this person possibly to offer you something. In your energy, I feel like you've been waiting a long time. You're exhausted from waiting. You may not be communicating with this person, but basically you're realizing or you're thinking that this person's either not going to offer you what it is that you want, which looks like a fresh beginning, communication, something that you could build upon. You feel like this person is not going to offer that to you, although you've waited for quite some time. Let's look at January. Show me January for Leo. Show me January for Leo. All right, Leo. You have the King of Cups. You have the King of Wands reversed. You have the Queen of Swords reversed. You got a lot of people in your energy here. Knight of Pentacles reversed. Another king, King of Swords reversed. Interesting. Three of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Page of Swords reversed. The Devil. And Justice reversed. All right, so Leo, I feel like you're going into the month of January and your heart is open. You are very loving here in your energy, but I feel like you're defending yourself. Excuse me. This person, somebody is approaching you in the first week of January. This person may be somebody that you have deep feelings for, but this person may also be someone either you cut out of your energy or you feel like they cut you out. I feel like this is somebody who does have deep feelings for you as you do for them. However, they're very angry. This is a very angry person, and they're a little bit bitter here. There's some bitterness. So it's like they're allowing their anger and bitterness to override their feelings and emotions, to cover their feelings and emotions. I do feel like you love this person. However, you know, they're kind of in an angry energy. This is somebody that you've had a falling out with. For some of you, there's several people here in your energy. I'm seeing water sign, definitely air sign, and fire sign as well. There's a lot of people here in your energy. So you might be, I don't know if you're dating or if you're just getting yourself back out there, but I feel like there's a lot of people here in your energy. You definitely want love in your life, but it's like you're fighting these battles. I do see you in that first week having this conflict with somebody who, like I said, is a little bit bitter, and they're kind of masking their feelings and emotions for you with that bitterness and that anger. I do feel like you're both angry. This is a couple that at one point was well suited together, but there's stuck energy here between the two of you. Now, in the second week of January, I feel like, you know, because of the stuck energy, because things are not moving forward, you're just as angry with them as they are with you. So there could be an altercation with somebody here from your past, somebody who is very angry, very bitter, somewhere around the middle of January. In the third week, I see you more or less looking at and working on your own stability, kind of feeling a little rejected by this person here from your past because you don't understand why it is that they're doing the things that they're doing. You realize that they're toxic. I have to say, it's most likely this person who's approaching you, and I do feel this is someone from your past. But I'm seeing here that in the third week, you're really just pouring yourself into work. You're trying to, you know, bring about your own stability here. You feel like there is a soul contract, or it could even be a physical contract that you had with this person. And this person may have violated that. So there is a sense of feeling rejected, feeling angry. I'm also seeing that in the third week, your money might be a little tight, so be very careful with that. I see you working to try to, you know, rectify that situation. There could be an unexpected expense in the third week of January, so just be careful. And I do see also in the fourth week, there's a recognition that this person, I see you not talking to somebody, and I do feel like it is this person that's in your energy. I see you kind of pulling back from this person. You may feel that this person lies, or if they don't lie overtly, they you know, neglect to tell you things that you do need to know. And I feel like, you know, you're recognizing that this person is really toxic. So any sense of rejection that you've experienced, any argument you've had with this person, I feel like at some point you're pulling back and you're saying, you know, I'd really rather not talk to this person rather than have all this conflict with them. Because this person, I'm telling you, Leo, is really fighting their own battles here. They're fighting their own demons. And I feel like when they come into your energy, they bring that in with them. There's definitely a toxic energy. It's never good to see the devil along with the Seven of Swords. So this person needs to get themselves sorted. I do see that you love this person, but you are also realizing how very toxic they are. And there's a realization that this is a really entirely unbalanced situation, and that, you know, this person has not treated you properly. So again, I feel like a lot of you guys are either moving towards something new, but it's going to take you really coming to terms with this person here from your past first. And if it's not somebody new, you're having a new beginning on your own. So let's see your energy, Leo. Show me Leo's energy in this reading, please. We're going to try that again. Show me Leo's energy in this reading. The Moon, the Seven of Swords, and the Three of Cups reversed. You're very focused on this person. It's like you are hyper focused on this person here from your past. They're still definitely in your energy, and I feel like you are very hyper focused on them, more so than you need to be. There's a sense here that you need to bring that focus around to you. Now, in your energy, there is some sort of a new beginning that's happening. Be careful, because it could be very sexual, and I feel like if that's the case, it will be with this person that is approaching you. However, this person, you feel like this person's not telling you everything. You feel like this person is keeping secrets from you. There's a sense here of feeling, you know, a little down, a little depressed, and it's really related to this person. There's a hyper sense of focus on this person. In the Three of Cups in the reverse, I do see by the end of the month you pulling back, withdrawing, not really allowing yourself to go out with family or friends, or even dating. It could lead to a sense of depression as well. But I'm telling you, Leo, it's because you're so hyper-focused on this individual. So let me see. Let's see their energy. Why is the Seven of Swords here? right, we have Temperance in reverse, Sagittarian energy. We have the Ten of Coins. All right, so this is the person here from the past. You have the Ten of Coins here as well. And the Ace of Wands, which is in your energy. So two of their cards is in your energy, and it's that Ace of Wands and the Seven of Swords. So this person's going to come back in. They're going to come back in a very sexual manner. They may be, you know, they're very unhealed. They may be coming in trying to have a new beginning with you, but I see them coming in with deception. I see that you're recognizing that, feeling that they're keeping secrets. And I feel like they're going to try to talk to you about times before, how you were happy before, and that you can be happy again, that the two of you could have it all. This is somebody who does want a new beginning with you, but there's deception within it. And they're definitely deeply embedded in your energy. So just be very careful. Let's look at Spirit's advice. Show me Spirit's advice for Leo in the month of January. All right, so we have the Four of Wands. We have the Six of Wands reversed. And we have the Eight of Cups. So Spirit is saying there is a new beginning that's coming in. And it is the person that you're holding on to, but it does not look like it's going to be successful, and it looks like you're going to walk away from this. So the thing is that I don't see this person coming in a very good energy. Now, of course, you know, you need to do what is in your best interest. Never give your power away to family members, therapists, tarot readers, psychics, or anybody, friends. You know, I want you to do what you feel is best, but I also want you to have your eyes open and realize what the energy is that's coming towards you, if this reading is for you. I do see that, you know, there's a indication here that the key to a new beginning is within you. So again, I'm getting that energy of take the love that you have been pouring into this connection and that patience, that love, and pour that into you, okay? Not outside of you. I am seeing that you do need to be guarded and walk away from anything that is unsuccessful. All right, so let me see your outcome. Show me the outcome for Leo at the end of January. All right, we have the Five of Swords. We have the Three of Swords reversed. We have the Eight of Wands and the Strength card. All right, so in your outcome, I do feel like you are going to be coming together with this person. I think you're going to be celebrating that. I think that you're going to be very excited about that. You're very hopeful. However, it's short-lived because we have then the Five of Swords, and that's that conflict that's coming in that I saw in your reading here. I do feel like you're conflicted about whether or not you want to heal this connection, because I feel like what you don't realize is how very much you have stepped into your own power as you've worked on yourself during the time apart from this person. I do see that there is going to be back and forth communication. I do see that you have very strong feelings for this person, and I do see that you do want to heal the connection, but at the end of the day, I do feel like there is going to be conflict. So it's a mixed bag here, and you really have to feel your way through it. So can you have a new beginning with this person and still maintain your sovereignty, still maintain the gains that you have made, still pour that love within yourself? So that's really the question here. Are you going to be able to nurture you and nurture this connection? And are they willing to nurture this connection? So, and it's going to be different for everybody. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups in the reverse. That is underlying energy. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini. I also see another Leo here for some of you. Sagittarian energy is here. But basically, with the Two of Cups in reverse as an underlying energy, it tells me that you are not on the same page with regard to a new beginning and the feelings and emotions with this person here from the past. It looks like they are going to play a prominent part in your energy for the month of January, but I feel like you're going to have to make some really tough decisions. So let's see if there's any more advice. I'm pulling from the Oracle deck, pulling for Leo. All right, Leo, you have number 10. So again, I'm telling you, you're at the end of some sort of cycle. Your card says grace. So let me read that for you. Give me just one moment. This will be a time of balance and grace, of movement that is flowing and smooth, purposeful and free. All that must be done, and there is much that must be done, is attended to with ease and beauty, and you may find that others look to you to see how one can move through so much without losing their sense of dignity. Others about you at this time are only seeing the surface of what is taking place, whereas you are able to go deep within and understand the meaning behind gestures and words, actions, and energies. You are able to pierce the emotional camouflage so many people wear when they encounter others, and without prying, you see the truth that lies beneath. This makes you perceptive, but do keep your counsel, as many people need their protections and will not take kindly to feeling exposed. Instead, offer the example of movement through challenges without losing the best of who you are. Let people have their secrets and know that your perception of them is accurate, fair, and will help you fly above the troubles so many around you will immerse themselves within. Choose who you will offer your services to, who will be the beneficiary of your friendship and kindness, for your work has great value and must not be squandered with those who lack the appreciation and an understanding of beauty. Choose to protect yourself through asking for your worth in all circumstances, without pride or vanity, but with a sense of honoring the knowledge you have and the skills you've acquired to ensure the longevity of your practice, whatever form it may take. You are a true and devoted person, and the Kitsune will help you to see your own value clearly and to ensure that all you do is honored and respected. Well, that's a nice summary for, what looks like to be happening in your January, Leo. So I do hope that this has been helpful. If you've resonated with this reading, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hype the video if you get the opportunity. And until I see you in your next reading, Leo, Happy New Year, and know that you are loved. Namaste.